Hey everyone, welcome back. So our last guests are a New York-based alt rock trio that have committed to experimentalism, sonic diversity, and exploration. Inquiring minds want to know, huh? So their musical sounds range from triumphant anthems to soulful ballads and edgy fusions of alternative pop, rock, and funk. Their music has been streamed over 250,000 times across multiple music online platforms. And here to share more, we welcome the group Canvas. All right, so we've got Jared Knoll, we've got Daniel Glavin, and we got Jesse Rothman. What's up, boys? How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing?
Going on, Rhina? Thank you for having us.
Well, welcome. Thanks for getting dressed up, Jesse.
Oh yeah, no problem. Is my Yukon Denali filter looking okay?
Well played.
Oh gosh, you guys are a trip. Anyway, thanks for being with us today. Let's just jump right into it and introduce you to our viewers. First and foremost, the name Canvas, where does that come from? Is that because it's blank and you guys can design whatever you like?
You kind of nailed it on the head, actually. I want it to be a little more mysterious than that, but you kind of nailed it.
Oh, really?
It's essentially a blank slate each time because we don't really want to, I guess, pin ourselves down to one genre or one sound. We, again, pride ourselves on being incredibly experimental and innovative. So, yeah, you kind of nailed it on the head, which is quite impressive.
It's a great place to start from, though, in anything, really, because then it allows you to just be flexible, right? Which is the times we're living in right now. I mean, look, Jesse's over there driving while he's doing an interview. I'm just saying, you know. Drive safely.
Man of many talents.
We just wanted to be able to make the music that we like and not be, stuck in any one genre. All of our songs really have a different sound, so that's kind of the meaning behind it.
So just because you're mentioning this, like music, that industry, it's very, I'm familiar with it, but it isn't exactly my expertise. Like, do you have to stick to a genre in order to be able to market accordingly? Is that like the stigma?
I mean, it certainly makes it easier, but we, like Jesse said earlier, and also Danny, we kind of made a decision early on if we were gonna commit to the spirit of experimentalism, then, we can't really get tied down to that. But yeah, certainly it makes it easier if you're able to, put a hashtag on one certain band for one certain style. We just found it a little more attractive to kind of go out of that broad spectrum and explore it a bit.
Yeah. And so how long have you guys been together?
7, 8? Yeah.
Yeah, probably right around a decade. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So who's the one with the more gypsy spirit? Since you're like, oh, we want to go over here.
Yeah, we all met in the recording studio. Actually,
Definitely
various friends. We eventually got connected in Times Square. I worked at a recording studio.
Danny and I met through a mutual job, and then he brought me to the studio where Jesse was interning at the time. And shortly after that, we kind of started fooling around with music together. And, thus, and obviously coming from 3 very separate backgrounds musically, it was really kind of an easy dynamic for us to be able to mend all these different styles into each song. And obviously after each song, we got better and better at doing that. And that's sort of where Canvas was born.
Got it. And so when you say 3 different backgrounds, you're referring to the fact that you're a singer-songwriter and Daniel's a producer and keyboardist and Jesse's a drummer. Is that what we're referencing, or is it what
I would say more the style, right? I mean, correct me guys if I'm wrong, but I mean, I'm definitely more on the alternative rock side. Also I like a lot of classical and a lot of Broadway stuff. Daniel, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong again, is kind of more on the hip hop side of things. And soul and funk, and then Jesse would be on the punk and again alternative rock and things of that nature as well. So kind of together each time we sort of melded into one cohesive song.
All right, and I know we have a single that we're going to be giving our viewers a taste of that's really really rocking it out there on these social media platforms, rather the music platforms. And but prior to this particular song that we're going to show our viewers and we're going to give them a taste of, how many songs have you guys compiled prior to the single?
So as far as releases, Jealousy was our 7th single. So we had 6 releases prior. But I like the way you termed the question, because how many records have we built up? It's in the hundreds.
Nice.
That's kind of part of our brand too. We have so much started, and now we're kind of in the completing phase, because as many fellow creatives can relate, we like the cook-up process. And now it's more on the, I think, admin and completing things, and submitting them and playlisting, all that fun stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. So, before we got on air, I was saying, oh man, they kind of remind me a little bit, but I'm not trying to, pigeonhole you or anything like that, but this is only because I'm a fan of you two. But there was something that kind of just reminded me a little bit of you two. And the only reason, before anybody, because I want to make sure I'm not offending anybody, right? I mean, they're an awesome band, but the reason, and I'm saying offended only because you don't want to be categorized in a specific genre, is because they are a classic themselves. They are a classic, even though they have something that you can tell it's their sound. They're gonna live forever. Like, I don't think they're ever gonna go out of style. So I hope you take that as a compliment.
Always do.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, there's no
Go ahead.
offense taken. It's not going to be easy to pigeonhole us. We make an active mission statement of not being able to be put in that category. So we appreciate it.
Well, and I'm only referencing Jealousy. I'm referencing the song Jealousy, which you guys are gonna get.
Yeah.
So before we go, you guys want to share any word on Jealousy before I do the grand introduction for it?
I can't wait for that. Jared, maybe this is best for you, since you wrote the record. Maybe where it came from life experiences.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name, right? At this point, there are very ambiguous songs that will certainly be released later, and you'll have to read many, many things in order to understand it. But for this one, it's really kind of all there on the sleeve, which was also in the spirit of the song. It's just a chronicle of the time in someone's life when they are succumbing to their lesser nature, right? These things like envy and jealousy and greed start to get a hold of us, and we lose sense of our emotions a little bit. And a lot of that can be, at least was intentionally, meant to be portrayed within the gritty guitars and the sweeping, background vocals and everything. It's a very dramatic, inward type emotion that I wanted very early on in the very beginning of the song to be very, very noticeable, which is why we started with such a space western style intro that kind of eventually went into why this person is actually singing and speaking and hurting. So it was kind of a chronicle of that one emotion and everything that it affects. And in the verse and the pre-chorus, it's kind of, I guess, him talking to himself about this other person and why he's jealous, and towards the end, obviously giving into the emotion entirely. Whether that's a good or a bad thing is up to the listener.
Well, he really broke it down for us. And meanwhile, when I heard it, all I thought about was like, this is a really appropriate song for the times that we're living in with regards to social media and so forth, because the lyrics say it all. I say, jealousy, been messing with my dignity, run away with my mind. Ooh, I gave a little bit away, because you guys got to stay tuned, because they're going to sing it for us. You guys rock. Thanks for being here with us, Candace. Woo! All right. We gotta go. We're out of time. I hate when that happens. I really do. I was enjoying watching Jesse drive.
Oh, we're gonna miss you.
You guys stay tuned, because when we return, Candace is gonna perform Jealousy for us. So don't go anywhere.